everyone. I hope you guys are doing all right in the day and age of coronavirus. So if you were like us, stuck indoors and minimalizing our trips to the grocery store, you might be wondering, how can I stretch what I have in my pantry for at least a hearty meal? So what I managed to get was some bell pepper, some ginger, and some onion, and also some lamb. So I'm definitely a huge fan of meat, and cutting back on grocery shopping has made cooking and buying meat really challenging for me. So I was able to get some leg of lamb online, and it did come kind of rather surprising to me. This is kind of bony, kind of got a lot of skin, but you know what? We're going to do our best and turn this into a wonderful plate of cumin lamb. So to start off, before we get into the cooking, we are going to start by doing a little bit of a dry rub on the lamb. And before I can do that, I probably want to separate the bone from the meat. So on my cutting board, you can always squish it a little bit to feel for where the meat and where the bones are. And the cat, of course, is very eager because we have meat going on. So I'm going to try to cut out some of that skin just to separate it. I'll still cook with it, but it might wind up being a little bit fatty. So, oh, goodness. This guy wants it more badly than I do. Okay, that's some skin right there. And this feels like mostly meat, but there's a bit of something going on there, some cartilage or tendon. So I'll just try my best to cut it. I will say that in retrospect, I probably would not have included the skin. It wasn't very fatty, but it was also just very, very hard to cook in a stir fry. It's probably better suited for some kind of a stew preparation. But in any case, when I made it this time, I left the skin in there because, again, I didn't want to waste anything. This guy's going to be a little trickier because I can see that bone right there. So there's no way I can cut down into the bone. So what I'll try to do is go around. So you can see there's not a whole lot of signs here. We just want to get the lamb pieces into similar sizes. So for me, that was about 1-inch cubes. So do your best with that. All right, what we're going to do now is to put on a generous amount of salt. This is garbage. There. And this, I have just some cumin, ground cumin. If you have cumin seeds, that's great, but this is all I have, so this is all I'm going to work with. Keep one clean hand and keep one dirty hand for massaging into the meat. So this is just to taste. You can already smell that wonderful cumin. Just reminds me of lamb skewers in China. All right, probably that much is good. All right, so now you want to let this just sit off to the side while you chop the rest of the vegetables. And probably want to wash both your hands with some soap, especially in today's day and age, right? So I wound up just using half of the bell pepper and half of the onion because I didn't have a whole lot of lamb meat. So about 2 inches of ginger is enough. So slice that, and you can see I just put it all in one bowl. Putting some oil into my pan, non-stick pan, just to make it extra easy, and turning the stove on high. I'm going to let it heat up just a little bit. Once it is starting to have a bit of a sizzle, you can then drop in the lamb. Once it's starting to brown a little bit on one side, then give it a little bit of a toss so that you can then give it a sear on other sides as well. After about 7 or 8 minutes, the meat should look fully brown all the way around. And now you can add the vegetables. And I didn't even overthink this, just dropped everything in, the ginger, the bell pepper, and the onion. You can see they're about the same size in about 1/2-inch cubes or slices. So then give it a good stir. The meat right now is already very flavorful, but let's add in some more seasoning to help flavor the vegetables. I'm going to start off with kind of a turn of soy sauce. This is light soy, so very flavorful. And then just a splash of Shaoxing cooking wine, because this will get rid of any more of that gamey flavor if you have in the lamb. So at this stage, both the onion and the bell pepper are releasing their juices into the pan, and it's going to marry very nicely with the soy sauce and the cooking wine. It's going to make a really sweet flavor profile in addition to that cumin that we put in before. So give this a light stir, keep the stove on high to let the water evaporate, to let it really reduce down, and it's going to be about 3 minutes, after which you can just turn off the stove and serve. The onion has emitted some really sweet flavor, so I'm going to turn the stove off, and before I serve it, just put on some freshly cracked black pepper for good measure. Just like that. And then we are good to serve. So I did wash this plate. It's now clean. Definitely wash your plate so you don't have cross-contamination between raw and cooked foods. Falling over. There you have it, a simple version of cumin lamb. If you have any tips about how you're coping with a limited pantry in this difficult coronavirus situation right now, do let us know down in the comments. Thank you for watching.